Let's do a quick update on what's been happening so far. Things are changing already. It's very, very uncertain because counting is carrying on, and because of ballot voting this time, the counting can be quite skewed, and also they come from different areas in the state. But let's just anyway have a look at what's happening in each of these states. Look at Michigan. Michigan is amazing. Although the Republicans won it last time, the Democrats, the polls suggested the Democrats were going to win this easily with an 8% margin, and the Republicans are leading right there. Michigan 16, very, very important. That is a turn up for the books as far as the polls are concerned. Pennsylvania, a big gain so far. Again, this may change for the Democrats. The Republicans had won it last time, but the polls were saying the Democrats would win this by 4%, and at the moment they are leading there. Let's move on to Florida. This is the big story of the morning. Almost everything has been counted, and while the polls said the Democrats were going to win here, the Republicans, like last time when Trump beat Hillary Clinton here, and that was a big change in the whole election, Trump is holding on to Florida. Completely opposite to what the polls said. What about North Carolina? Here, this is a good gain for the Democrats. They'll be pleased with this as well. Although the polls did actually forecast this, so it won't come as a surprise, but it will be a pleasant change compared to what they've been seeing in Florida. Now let's move on to South Carolina. Standard traditional Republican, and yes, they've held on to it, and they were projected to hold on by a margin of 7%, 52 to 45. Moving on, New Jersey, solid Democrat. You can move on. This is just standard and expected. Winning by 20% was the projection. Texas, now this is really interesting. There's still a long way to go. The margin of lead that Biden has in Texas is just about 1.5%, and there's still 40% of the state to be counted. So when it's ticked and again and projected, it's really that can definitely change. This is expected. Illinois, traditionally Democrat, they were expected to win this by 16%. They're holding on to this, and they won it last time as well. Delaware, again, exactly the same, traditionally Democrat, and they're holding on to it. It's amazing how the states in America, many of them are not at all swing. They don't change from one election to the other, and Delaware is just one of those. Alabama, again, solidly, always historically Republican and projected to hold still. Massachusetts, Democrat, again, solidly always has been projected to hold. No surprise. So we should focus a bit on the surprises. This is not a surprise. Again, solidly, traditionally Republican, and they are projected to hold on to this. I think if we look at, actually there are one or two which are surprises. If we try and get up Virginia, not West Virginia, but Virginia, that is amazing. If we can have a look at that. And Ohio and Texas, these are, so we're just getting hold of Virginia. Just have a look at that. Virginia was won by the Democrats last time, projected to be won by the Democrats this time by 8%, and the Republicans are ahead here. Okay, it's 13, but it's projected. Again, this can change. Baj wants to have a comment, and maybe he's got an update on this.
Yeah, I think Dorab said this a few minutes ago. Fairfax County, which is the one that borders Washington, is the big Democratic county in this state. And out there, only 20% of the votes have come in. So I would say that, it's far too early to even think of Virginia being a battleground state at the moment. I think we have to wait much longer. You also mentioned Michigan in one of the graphics showing that the Republicans were ahead. Again, the count here is very low. And if you look at a place like Detroit, it's showing that it's pink just now. So it's showing a lead for the Republicans. But Detroit will not be pink. I mean, it has a huge black population. There's no question of Detroit being. So it's very early on these two states, I feel.